Welcome everyone to the VGBC 2024 Halloween special. I'm Tubby Mora, and today I am joined by Bajirwin, JC, Nakuso, Soul, Charizard, and Spudman. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, and making their VGBC debut is none other than JC, our awesome emote artist. Thank you for being here, JC. Finally, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for the emotes.
yeah.
They're awesome.
They're freaking awesome. Can't wait to see more. This time around, we're going to be answering some spooky Halloween themed questions. Now, I would love to make this a yearly thing and do even more special themed sessions like this. So if you like this and want to see more, be sure to literally, you just don't do anything. We're going to do it regardless. But actually, no, I do have something to ask of everybody. If more people joining. That's my wish. More people joining in on this. I think it'd be really fun. Anyway, let's get started. The order of presenting will be JC, Soul Charizard, Spudman, Nakuso, Bajirwin, and Tubby Mora, and Oot, but he's not here. Shame on you, Oot. Anyways,
Shame on you.
Let's get started. First question. What is your earliest horror game experience? Take it away, JC.
Okay, so my earliest horror game experience, as far as I can remember, is probably Slender, the 8 pages.
Ooh.
It's a
Throwback.
classic.
Mhm.
Yes.
The very first Slender game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
I think creepypastas were really big at the time on the internet, so I learned the game through them. Looking back, it's really funny because I thought it was the scariest thing ever to be lost in these dark woods with some scary slender suit guy chasing me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Picking up
then I looked at
napkins.
yeah, picking up napkins. But then now when I watch gameplay videos, it's really not that bad at all. It's not very scary.
Okay, awesome. And then what about you, Soul?
Oy. It's a little bit muddy. I think
That's good though. We want it muddy. Reach into the dark recesses of your mind.
what was it? Honestly, I think it was either your Eternal Darkness or freaking Beyond Good and Evil.
Ooh. Okay.
You opened
Yeah.
the door in my brain.
Yeah.
My answer's changing.
Yeah, because I remember those monsters. I remember seeing the freaking monsters there. Oh my god, they're creepy. And not only that, there's something horrifying when you go to that slaughterhouse. It's like when you see those creatures in one of those whatever states that they're in, just floating there menacingly as that creepy song plays.
Oh,
I found the name of that soundtrack, by the way. It's called Evidence. And oh my god, that's just haunting.
Freaking shout out to Beyond Good and Evil. Was not expecting that.
Right? Yep.
Me either. My brain hates you now.
I mean, honorable mention would be the Medal of Honor Frontline because I was scared of going alone.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
But this one takes the cake. Also, oh yeah, another honorable mention would be Zelda Ocarina of Time. When I saw my dad play that game, I was scared of going into those dungeons. But I think the Beyond Good and Evil kind of took it.
Okay. What about you?
Next?
What about you, Spud?
Okay, so for me, it has a little bit of technicalities to it because I'll be the first to admit I'm not that good with I'm not that good with horror games, but I am kind of challenging myself with it. But I think my first official horror game that I got into and really freaked me out was the original Dead Space.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, that one.
That one just I don't know, just being alone on that ship, just wandering in the dark, not knowing if or when one of those necromorphs will jump out, and ooh,
I don't blame you.
but I think another honorable mention would be I was playing this when I was younger, and it kind of did freak me out just at how many there were. Was the original Left 4 Dead?
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh,
man.
Left 4 Dead.
I love Left
Yeah.
4 Dead though.
I think my other honorable mention, I played a little bit of it, but I watched my dad play it when I was younger, was American McGee Alice. That one was like a darker take on Alice in Wonderland,
Mhm.
and oh my, oof. How it was
Man.
portrayed just really, it left an impression.
No, you're spot
But
on. That's some scary imagery. That Alice series.
mhm. But I think my first official horror experience was the original Dead Space. Like it
Okay.
was like it freaked me out, but I wanted to keep playing. Like, okay, what happened here?
Exactly.
What
I
happened?
need to know.
I
Tell
need
me.
to know. But stay the fuck away from me.
Tell me
Exactly.
without scaring me, please.
It's like that curiosity like led you and
Mhm.
made you want to just keep seeing more. That's awesome.
On a quick side note, I am actually in the process of playing the remastered.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And yeah, and oh my god, I think it's even more scary.
Well, looks like they didn't let that down, huh?
No, they did not.
Okay.
Next.
Sweet. All right, Noxo.
So my earliest experience is me actually sort of not playing, but watching my brother play this game when I was younger.
Counts.
For some reason, I had to think of this game really in the deep bowels of hell because I forgot all about this game until like years later when I seen it online. It was Splatterhouse 2 for the Mega Drive.
Dang.
This game
I've
is
heard of this
super
game.
old. It is. I was like, I don't know, 6. I probably shouldn't have been watching my brother play this game actually, especially
Older
because
brother things.
I was not allowed to play any type of adult games, if you will, for a
Mhm.
long time.
Mhm.
But especially this game, it had a lot of gore, a lot of violent imagery. You're basically going around smashing grotesque looking demons, really, really messed up looking bosses. It's like so much blood and gore, especially back then. I think that was one of the first M-rated games alongside Mortal Kombat. So, yeah, it's okay. It didn't affect me growing up. I'm okay
Oh.
now.
Oh yeah.
I'm a decent human being. Yep.
Congrats, man. I'm proud of
I'm
you.
glad you survived.
Twitch.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
I did
yeah.
play it, but I did, but like when your brother or your family's away, you kind of turn on the game anyway. You're like curious about it. That's what I did,
Heck
and
yeah.
I was freaked out by it, and
Yeah.
I did not play it after a while because it has some really scary things in there.
Oh man.
But it's okay. It's okay. No one found
Did you
out.
finish it?
No one found out now.
Oh, did I finish it? No. I only played like a couple levels before I chickened out as a kid. I left.
Careful, Nuxo. Tubby's viewers might have your parents in there.
It's okay.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
We'll bring it back. Nominate
Hi,
for
Mom.
VGBC.
All right. Next.
Okay, so I went very thank goodness you said that we can kind of cook a little bit longer than 3 minutes
Mhm.
because you beautifully worded these questions a little bit loose enough for me to be like, my first experience. Well, there's a few. I love horror. Oh my gosh, is that Oot?
That's Oot. Welcome, Oot.
Welcome. He made. Oh,
And he left. I see how it is. All right.
trick or treating us.
Psych.
So like the first things that came to my mind was I used to see, dare I say, my brother, hey Soul Charizard, what's up? And then you, Tubby,
Hey.
playing just like co-op games, and for some reason a lot of them were horror or horror-esque. So like my first experiences were watching whatever the heck you guys played back then on like the PS2, whatever. Like I don't even know what those games were, but I would remember having nightmares after you guys were done playing.
What was it?
I don't remember. It's just a montage of different, shooting monsters or people kind of horror-y games.
Man,
I mean, I
so
was like
that's
5.
irresponsible letting your sister watch us play whatever game that was.
Hey, that was on her. She decided to
What?
show up.
Hey,
Are you right?
you guys were playing interesting games I had to watch, so I was always sneaking in anyway. But anyway, so that kind of traumatized me, and then I remembered I also play like House of the Dead, like the arcades and stuff, because I'm like, I'm cool. I like horror. I'm like 5 years old. I'm like 7. I'm so cool. I can play this game and not freak out. So yeah, there's that. But then like games that really scared me that I can actually give a name to as like my first experience of like a game scaring me, and I'm like, I can put a name to the face and it haunts me in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal Darkness, specifically that
Classic.
bathroom scene.
Yup.
What the frick, man?
Jeez.
What is who made that game? Why would you make that? Are you okay? I think about that every
Actually
year.
genius.
Actually, like maybe once a month. It's like maybe that's my what's it called? My Roman Empire. That was a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about that a lot.
Just a romantic comedy.
Yeah, it really is. But I actually played for like experience of horror as like things, horror
Mhm.
traits, symptoms. I don't know. In a video game that isn't technically horror, though, I would like to shout out Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask specifically, but also Ocarina of Time, because the likes and the redeads absolutely traumatized me. I would have to turn down the volume whenever I was playing.
Same.
That's like, I would turn it all the way down. I'd run through Castle Town and just be like, whew, God did it. I even try to fight Ganon. I don't know why I would go to Castle Town like that, but here I was, like, we out here.
We out
I was
here.
trying to be cool and play the video games like everyone else was doing. Like I'd watch my dad or my brother play. That was scary, but specifically Majora's Mask, the transformation scenes with the
Oh my
main mask
God.
that you can get.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, trauma, nightmare fuel. I should not have seen that at the age that I saw that at. Like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that after the initial scene, you can skip it every time you have to switch to that mask. I'm like, oh thank goodness, I don't want to. I don't want to see him
Nightmare
scream
fuel,
in pain and just.
I'm surprised I didn't got away with the rating I did.
And then the moon, man, the moon,
The moon.
falling towards the land of Hyrule, but also like has this menacing face, like, and there's actually aliens in this game. Like there's dead skeletons walking around, and like that's in a lot of games, but like this one specifically was like used in a very horror way. Like I don't know what happened between that game and then like Wind Waker came out later on, so I'm just like, what happened? There was a lot of horror during this time, and then they went back to like these more happy notes. But gosh, that stuck with me. Those sounds, even the sounds for flying away or like to teleport in Majora's Mask with the, what is it called?
Soaring wings of
The soaring bird thing. That freaked me out. I don't know why, but there was like a weird like screechy sound in there when you like fly away. Oh my gosh, it freaks me out. Took me a long time to get used to it, but that was another time that I would just turn the volume all the way down. Like if I can't hear it, it can't scare me, right?
That's true. That's fact.
They can't see me if I can't hear them, if I don't look at them, like.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Anyway.
so glad you mentioned that game.
Because there's so many ways to experience horror in video games. That's why I'm like, there's so many answers to this question. Like, what I've seen in games that are actually horror, what I've experienced that are games not horror, but dang, that should be a horror. That should be in a horror game. Golly, man. Okay, I'm good now. Thank you.
All right. For me, when I was a wee lad living in Ikego, Japan, many eons ago, there was this uncle and his family that lived in Tokyo. It was about an hour drive away from Ikego, Japan to Tokyo. And he had a Japanese PlayStation with all 3 original Resident Evil games. I did not know what I was going into, what I was about to experience. But the moment he turned that on and showed us, it was over. Like it was so addicting. It's kind of like we talked about it earlier before the recording. I think it was Spud. Like being scared but wanting to see what was going to happen next became a tradition every time we visited my uncle and his family. And we just every single time we would visit them, I would always ask my uncle, to the point where I'm pretty sure I was hella annoying, but I would just keep asking him, please, uncle, please play Resident Evil. Please play Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. I kept begging repeatedly. But my uncle, shout out to him. You're awesome. You probably don't remember me, but it's okay. That left such a huge impression on me. Just seeing him play these terribly voice acted games in a row and just experiencing the horrors that is Resident Evil. Zombies, lickers, Nemesis, and just like the entire those lickers.
Oh my god.
Licky.
I hated those.
But
Tubby.
man,
Oh my gosh.
it was such an experience. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could not sleep at all every time we would stay there. And we would always stay there over the weekend. I was pretty much I had insomnia every single time. I would watch him play those games. It was, dude, it was 100% worth it. I couldn't go to bed. I probably pee my pants every night. I would try to sleep there too, but you know what? It was worth the pain and emotional scarring, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. So that was my experience that I can remember. Again, similar to Nakaso, it was living vicariously through someone else playing a horror game that I would request over and over and over again.
Hubby, that reminds me of me as a kid asking you to play Resident Evil 4 over and over again.
Yes.
Oh my
See,
Had the same experience.
we're going. It's the cycle, right? It just comes back.
It's just it came back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's I have your experience, but with you.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And
Now
a
that-
different Resident Evil.
When you said Resident Evil, I almost forgot about that one. When my first
I
experience
forget?
with war. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
This is a shared experience, guys. Everyone who's played Resident Evil has somehow felt the same things.
I mean, looking at it now, like if you look at the original Resident Evils, they don't really look too scary. But during that time, those polygons were the most terrifying things I'd ever laid my eyes on. So,
Oh yeah, those doors too. You don't know if you're safe yet.
mm-hmm.
You could be, you could not be. Who knows?
It's so
That was
good.
a-
It's so good.
I was
But
gonna
Thank
say,
you. Thank you for
I'm not-
sharing that memory.
wait,
you're welcome. You're
Spud, I
welcome.
just got something.
All right, what you got, Spud?
I was gonna say I did play a bit of the original Resident Evils. I think the one that kind of freaked me out because it's like, where the hell am I going? Was that train bit where you were on the train
Yep.
just navigating,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, what is around this corner? Because it's like you could see, but then you couldn't, and once you get up to the train, it's like, what's going on? And then just the train just derails, and it's like, okay,
yeah. Like
Jump scare.
okay.
I kid you not. Like this is one of my strongest memories. In Resident Evil 1, when the dogs first break through the glass, like that's a very iconic scene. I actually shat my pants as a kid.
No way.
Oh boy.
It was messy and terrible, but that's an episode for another time. Let's move on to question 2.
Yeah, let's do it next time.
Moving on.
Moving on. Question 2. Question 2. What is your favorite horror game or game with horror elements? Take it away, JC.
Okay, so one of my favorite horror games, the cult classic RPG Maker horror game Ib or Ebe. I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both Ib and Ebe.
I agree. I still don't know which to pronounce it as, but yes.
Okay, it's not only me. Good.
Ib. Let's go with Ib.
Ib. I don't know. Yeah, Ib.
I'd say Ib.
I stay with Ib then. Ib. I like it when like a game is made by one solo developer and like unexpectedly blows up. I just think that's really cool. And I think it just gives like a unique spin on what horror games can look like, since it's all just simple pixel art. But you still are very like uneasy while walking around, and the game itself is pretty silent and suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
It also takes place in an art museum, and I just think that's a fun setting to have like a horror game be in.
In an art museum,
Yeah.
I can imagine. Okay. What about you, Soul?
I think you know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm sure you've heard me say this
Yes.
more than once.
And please cook to your heart's content. Go for it.
It's the freaking sanity mechanic that we saw when we were at my godbrother's place, hubby.
Mhm.
Or it's like every time I see you play Eternal Darkness, I'm like, wow, this is kind of scary when you think about it. When you're into these when you're stumbling upon these locations, freaking haunted, mine's fucking with you every here and there, left and right. Next thing you know, the freaking I remember when you booted up the game, it showed like a random. It showed up like a random. What was it called? Eternal's Darkness something. It was a freaking trick. It was a freaking trick, and it was just the character going insane.
Mhm.
It's like the whole movie trailer like showing like I can't remember what it was. It's like when you go into one of the rooms or something like that, and it's just like showing the whole movie like trailer of the game. It's dude, that thing.
How meta the game got was really freaky. Yeah,
there
breaking
was
those walls, man.
Dude, that game was trippy. It's gonna make it. That game can make you question your existence in game and in reality at this point.
And then the game disc not being read, like unreadable. Like, I got so mad when I saw
Deleting
that.
all your saves.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It played on a gamers for real horrors.
Yeah.
Losing their save files.
Oh, that's horrifying for every
console
gamer.
Getting corrupted. Like it really played on every level of fear.
And that's why we love it.
In the game and out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Bathroom scene. Ah!
Oh god. I remember. I think I saw that on one of the YouTube videos. Oh god.
Bathroom scene.
Those can really mess someone's mind. I wish they brought more of that in horror games.
I wish they would do it for recent like consoles, like another game that's like that.
You know what's kind of sad? There was supposed to be an actual sequel, but the company went down the drain. Sadly.
Dang, rip.
I'll be the company that does it then. I will learn their mechanics.
All right, please do.
And there was a gameplay of it too, and I'm like, man, that sucks.
All right, Kickstarter VGBC's first video game, Eternal Darkness 2.
Oh god. All right, easy. Yeah. Done.
All right.
Get ready for some cool art.
All right, Spudman. What is your favorite?
Okay, my favorite has got to be Dead Space.
Nice.
I'm still working on the remaster because I did beat the original Dead Space a long time ago. Part of it was me, and then part of it was watching my dad play it because he was playing a lot of it. But in the process of playing the remastered, it still just freaks me out. Like I'll just how you're just walking around, and then next thing you know, you hear the whispering. I legitimately just go, "What was that? Who said that?"
What? Basically the ambiance. Oh, it's basically the ambiance of the surroundings.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Ooh, I still just go, "What was that?" Oh,
oh my god! Yeah, that's right. I see that.
And just every time I walk into an area, I'm like, "Do I have ammo?" Okay, yes, I do. Do I have health? Okay, let's go. Open the door. Open the door. Every time I walk in there, I'm just, anyone here? Hello? Okay, we're good. And just jumps out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Nope.
Or especially like when you're trapped in the room and the alarm just starts going off.
Oh God! Every time I'm in there, I'm just, where are you? Show yourself.
Dark.
Show yourself.
Just dark along with the flashing lights, just like making it worse, just to make sure as it covers the necromorphs.
And every time I'm just holding on my weapon, so I have the flashlight, just going, where Where?
Yep, that sounds about right.
Or was it those freaking flying creatures and how they latch onto someone? I'm just nope.
Yeah. Those near-death experiences, that's the best part about the game.
I think the near-death experience for me was those freaking critters. I don't remember what they were, but the small ones that just crawl over you and you have to shake them off.
Leapers or
Get
something
off,
like
get
that?
off, get off, get off, get off, get off.
Or are those the ones that like create the necromorphs, or are they just like the baby ones?
No, I think those are the baby ones because the
Oh
flying
God, the
creatures
baby
were
ones.
the ones that infected the people.
Oh, okay.
Everything's scarier when it's a baby.
Yeah. Have you seen that sequence, the nursery in Dead Space?
Yep.
No, I mean like
hate
Bajerwin and JC.
No.
Have you seen it?
I don't remember it. If I did see it,
Oh yeah,
but I did.
When you have a free moment, take a peek at that
Right
sequence.
after this.
Here, I'll search it up for you guys so you know what it looks like.
Oh God.
I got it. I'll look it up right now.
But no, just to reiterate, Dead Space is still my absolute favorite. I think the other one that I'm still playing and do enjoy is probably Dying Light, because I do love a good zombie game.
Mhm.
The first one I think scared me the most, especially with those volatiles, the ones at night, where they're like enhanced mutated zombies.
They hunt you relentlessly.
Yeah, they
Oh.
hunt you. And they are incredibly hard to kill. So every time I went out at night, I'm always just peeking around the corner, going, "Is there one there? No, okay, we're good." And the sounds they make when you hear them howling at night, I'm gonna go this way. I don't know. In the second one, I don't see them that often. Probably because I played the first one the most. I like a lot of the mechanics in the second one, but those volatiles just still every time I hear them, I just go, no, I'm gonna go this way.
And then the map decides to say, no, you're gonna have to go through that nightmare.
Hey,
Either
look.
way.
Hey, look, a human.
That's pretty good.
And-
Honestly, some good choices though, Spud.
Mm-hmm.
I can confirm the nursery scene is really freaky. Sorry, I took a quick second to just. What the? Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Okay, yeah, no, what the? No!
Now you know.
I understand.
You're welcome, Bajerwin.
What happens to me?
Now you know.
Thank you for teaching me the way.
Yep.
You're welcome.
That's our gift to you for Halloween 2024. All right. Okay, Nakazo. Well, what about you?
My favorite horror game I had to think about for a bit because I forgot. I think I just tried to get this game out of my mind, but it's okay. Originally, I thought, oh, that's easy. It's going to be a Resident Evil game or Doom. But then I remembered, wait a second. There's a game that I played multiple times as a teenager and I really loved. And it has sequels for, but we don't talk about the third game. And that is Fear for the PC. Or Xbox 360.
Oh, I think they did. I think they did. I think I remember seeing scenes of that too. I think there were sanity things going on there, right?
Yeah, there is stuff with your sanity. I remember one thing is the reason I found out about this game is because of an old show called X-Play that was on TV.
Shout out to X-Play.
Shoot.
Oh man.
Yeah, me and my friend one night, as we usually did back then, we'll watch X-Play together. And that was one of the reviews they had. That is a game that really stuck out to me because not only is it scary, but it also has some amazing combat and AI. And I still think the AI is still of the best even to this day that they haven't replicated. But for the reason of it being really memorable for me and a great experience is because of the blend of action and horror. So you have a lot of segments where it's just slow, and then you have a lot of moments where it's just really fast with the gameplay and it's really frantic and it has bullet time and the enemies are flanking you everywhere. And at the same time, horror stuff may or may not happen in that moment. And you may be getting chased. Or there's other moments in the game that I played. I remember when I was with my father and I was going up a ladder and I did not expect this. And this is why ladders to this day scar me. As soon as I get up to the ladder, I just see a child standing right in front of me and I scream probably the loudest I've ever screamed in a horror game.
Do you remember which fear that was?
That was Fear 1.
Oh
This is original fear.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
The
one.
Yeah, you
original
remember it?
fear.
Yes, I remember that because I also screamed.
Oh,
Because
see, I'm glad you know.
Yeah, I played a good chunk of the first one. I
Mm-hmm.
was unable to play the sequels, but I played like a good portion of the first one. And yeah, I was climbing up. I remember I was climbing up the ladder. I'm like, okay, let's just get up the ladder, and I just see that, and yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I also
Mhm.
screamed.
That was crazy. So yeah, the character Alma Wade, one of the people they had was a patient and they researched on. It's one of the antagonists of the game. It's a little girl that follows you. Sometimes you get some jump scares. Sometimes you'll be in an event and she'll just crawl around the corner. Yep.
Oh, God.
Or sometimes it's very subtle where you think you hear something or you see something at the corner of your eye, then you turn around and nothing is there. And it's like sometimes, and then you turn back and then she's there. It's like really cool how they kind of implemented the jump scares back when jump scares weren't, super abundant. This game kind of earned it because it's usually after high octane moments after a battle, then everything slows down. And then it's like there's a lot of silence, a lot of liminal spaces with the different buildings that you're going through. Because a lot of the game takes place like in a facilities or factories or other elements that you go outside and inside. It's a very unique and interesting game that I have never seen replicated still. Like these two elements, it's like I really recommend it. I really recommend that game. And that was also one of the first games where it took me a long time to finish the single player the first time because some parts were just too scary. Like literally like abandoned hospitals like you had to go through. I was like, man, especially when I was 16, I was like one of the few experiences I have with horror games.
That's so good.
So that is it for me. Fair. You don't talk about the third one though.
Dude, you
All right,
know,
how about you with your one?
You know a game is good when you are like actually scared to pick up the controller again.
Oh yeah.
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 We all have those moments, my friend.
We've all
That was pretty bad.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
I'm about to do my thing again where I reword this question to answer a bunch of things because I can't just choose one horror game or horror game element thing. Because my favorite horror video game to meme on is Resident Evil 4, because what are you buying?
Shout out to the merchant.
Yeah, because I literally pretended, I don't know, I did a really weird version of, like, a 6th grader's version of the merchant for, like, a Halloween costume once. It did not look anything like it, but like I would still do the voice, and I mean, if you knew the game, then I was trying to go for it, but it didn't look anything like the merchant.
It's okay. Low budget merchant is cool. Low budget.
Yeah,
merchant.
no, I didn't have a job. I was a 6th grade,
Yeah,
but horror game I love to meme on, and it did scare me towards the end with the whatever those things were called. I already forgot the ones that you need a special sight to find out their weak points towards the end of the game.
Generators.
Thank you, those ones. And also, where'd everyone go? Bingo. Like Leon is just classic, beautiful. Mwah. Love it. Also, Chef's Kiss. Mwah. Favorite genre within the horror element of video games is actually, JC conveniently mentioned it earlier, but like the RPG Maker horror games, the sprites. There's so many that I watched, like, played on YouTube and stuff. Like, that was a big era. Like, PewDiePie played a bunch of them. He did Ib. He did, like, Corpse Party. Like all of those, like all of them, I can't just pick one because they all are horrifying, and they all made me very sad.
I think I saw.
Aoni,
Mm-hmm.
Crooked Man, all of them, everything from that era, anything in that style. Like I don't understand how those tiny things of pixels freaked me the frick out, man.
You gotta.
That stuck with me, but I never officially played one, so it's like I can't call it my favorite, but I love that genre. Shout out to that genre of horror video games.
You gotta question those. You gotta question the minds of those creators.
I really do. Like,
They must have had some sort of bad. They must
like
have some
Corpse
bad
Party
history.
2, man. Like, if you know the whole story, it's really messed up. It is so messed up.
Can't confirm. I did watch it with Bajoran once.
It is. I don't know why I was just watching that so casually. Like, this explains a lot about me now. But that genre, classic, beautiful. Mwah. Shoot. I had another thing I was gonna say for this. I wrote it down. Oh gosh. Overall, though, like my favorite. No, I lied. There's two. Because there's a game that's not a game anymore. It no longer exists. But it did something to me and everyone who's ever played it. And it's a sad tragedy that it never got fully realized. PT.
Oh,
You know?
Wow. Okay.
Like that is
Go
one of
on.
my favorite horror experiences that I just can't experience it the same way in other games. Like you have to speak in the game, like to your microphone on the PS4 controller to like do a puzzle. It's a scary thing. I don't understand. It felt like very monotonous at first, but each time a detail changed, or you knew that she was just a lot closer behind you than she was the last time you went around the house, or when she's staring above you from the second floor, and you hear on the radio like the crime that had happened, and like you can't ever turn around or you die. But you have to like look around, so I was always scared to like turn the camera slightly left or right, because what if I turn just too much and then I'm dead? Or when you have to look at the weird prepubescent, but like very zygote looking baby that's in the sink.
Oh God, yeah. I
Like there's so much in this game. Like there's like different elements of horror. There's the supernatural stuff. There's like the body horror things. There's just true crime, thriller stuff. Like
that is such a good callback. I'm so glad you mentioned PT.
And I played that at my friend's place because they're like, you know, they played it before, so they're like, I can't wait to see like Bajir would freak out, you know. I'm like, you're probably right, it's gonna happen. And this was around Halloween,
Yeah.
so everyone's lights are out. Where it was past sundown, and where we were at the time was like southern Italy, so like it. As I can speak from experience, electricity goes out randomly. That's not unheard of. And of course, when I am playing PT for the first time, the power cuts out. And it's so dark.
No.
Oh boy.
So this was an
Unlucky.
entire, like, I lived a horror movie, it felt like. Like, I could not sleep when I got home. I couldn't do a lot of things because I was just like, there's a woman behind me. I can't go wash my hands in the bathroom. Like, there's going to be a baby in the sink. There's going to be cockroaches coming out of my photo frames. Like, this changed me for that 1 year. And then it disappeared because the game never got fully realized. And that makes me very sad because I want more of that.
I know. Imagine if Kojima had a chance to finish that.
Yeah.
Man, and then, you know, at the very end, if you actually can finish the game, you get to see, what's his real name? Not Daryl Dixon, but like...
Who?
Kojima.
The
Kojima?
guy from The Walking Dead.
Oh, Rick Grimes.
No, but yes. But
Norman Reedus.
thank
Oh,
you,
Norman
Norman Reedus.
Oh yeah.
And then he ended up being the face of the walking game.
Yeah, the Amazon delivery game.
Yeah, with the baby.
Yeah, with the baby.
Death Stranding, yeah.
Oh, okay. That one I had to casually go on a tangent on that, but for real, the game I go back to a lot. It's just the Left 4 Dead games. I loved playing those with my friends when I was overseas. It was just like online, in person. Like that game did something for a lot of the people I knew. There was little videos that were made that no longer exist on YouTube, I think. Cough, cough. I don't know. But that was just that. Those were fun times. Like it was it stopped being scary the way that like horror games are, like zombie ones especially. It became more scary because of the chaos that happened and like the different special infected. And one of my friends is down, and I'm gonna try to get them up, and now I'm down, and there's a tank, and somehow someone woke up the witch, and it's now scary again, and it's wonderful. But yeah, the Left 4 Dead games, those those will always be probably my favorite like actual horror game because I even played it after the fact, like on Steam. Like I have mods for it. Like it will always be a game I would come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that experience with me, Tubby. I would never have known about it without you.
You're welcome.
And also how to identify each of the special infected because that was way over my head at that age.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that's cheating, Jordan. You said like 5 games.
I know, but you like left it so nice with the ore. There's a giant ore in the middle. You didn't say and, but like ore.
Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna build off what Bajoran said. My favorite horror game or game with horror elements. 3 words or 2 words with 1 number.
Yeah!
Left 4 Dead. My God, I had to like really think about this, and then I came to a realization that Left 4 Dead was like a really big part of me growing up. And because I mean, honestly, think about it. What is the scariest thing in the entire world? Other people, teamwork, terrifying, playing with friends and family, not knowing if they're gonna shoot you or the zombie. That's that scary element that's just utterly terrifying. And it was such a fun time. Yeah. Like
I forgot
playing this game into the dark hours of the night. Shout out to Persona 3. And like getting to the point where you're like playing for so long and you just start hallucinating and you start to think that light posts are smokers and fire hydrants are witches. Like it's honestly one of the greatest game experiences of all time. It's just like you have to rely on other people to have your back and vice versa. And it was such an amazing experience. I remember very fondly every night my friends or my cousins, we all be playing. And then we're like, oh man, you guys, I think this is the night. I think this is the night that we play this game on the hardest difficulty. We can play this on expert. And then of course, after 9+ hours of trying to beat the entire Left 4 Dead campaign on expert, eventually everyone just starts getting pissed off at each other and we just start shooting each other in the back with a shotgun.
Oh God!
This is how family bonds are formed, though.
Exactly. It's that chaos, that magic, that magical thing of just everyone just hating each other at the end of the night. It's just for anything in the world.
So make or break. It's a test. It's a test of relationship with.
It
with
is. And then
you can't fight your siblings, so like this is the only way you can get your frustrations out on each other.
And then no one talking to each other like after for like a few days, like that. Ooh, that hits like hard right there. Horror in the game, horror in real life.
It really does.
That's my thing. Left 4 Dead, I freaking love that series. Left 4 Dead 3, maybe. Who knows? Who knows how far I almost said Blizzard. Sorry.
Oh
Blizzard.
my God.
Valve. Sorry, Valve.
Line, bro?
That's another video for another time.
It's a different kind of horror. That's something else entirely.
All right, let's take this home. Moving on to question 3. If you could turn any existing video game into a horror game, what would it be and why? Take it away, JC.
Okay, this question was actually really difficult for me to think of something. But let me cook here. I'm gonna say any of the Rhythm Heaven games into like a horror game.
That would be cool.
I think it would be fun to just like have to keep a beat going while getting jump scared. I can like see it as some like arcade game or something. I don't know.
The
I don't
music
know
is
if it'd
all
be too
scary.
difficult. Yes. Like scary music, scary graphics, and you just have to keep like, I don't know, like a taiko drum. You just have to keep like beating the drum or something. I don't know.
I love it.
With jump scares just happening randomly.
Sold.
Yeah.
Sold. Yes, this is
That
beautiful.
Awesome. Oh my God. Okay. What about you, Soul?
Oh, Final Fantasy actually.
Okay, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
All right,
It'd
my
be very
friend,
pretty.
go ahead and cook.
If I can, because it's always like light and dark, but it's never gone to like a grim dark or like horror like feeling around Final Fantasy. And I think I've seen like one instance from an old CGI movie. Jordan, I think you know what it's called. I think you know what this is called. Spirit Within.
Oh, yep, I know that.
Yep, that one.
Mhm.
That should be. I feel like that should be something around that, like that kind of feeling, like apocalyptic, ghosts trying to eat your soul, something like that. Final, like in the
Yeah, ghost eating my
final-
soul.
Ooh, I love that for all of you.
yeah, because that's a
That sounds spooky. I like it.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking
That'd be
about.
good.
It's like because that's like a theme that's like probably not mentioned a lot in any of the Final Fantasy games.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be like a really interesting theme for like any horror style Final Fantasy games. Right, like right there is a good mark.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
think
dude,
Final
you're
Fantasy
spot
usually
on.
has gods. Gods
Yeah,
usually eating
Final
souls,
Fantasy
not
does need
ghosts.
more soul sucking.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. As a Final Fantasy freak, I think it needs more soul sucking. I'm sorry.
All right, okay, Bajirwi.
Sorry, that was a joke.
Jeez.
It was
Oh
alliteration.
boy.
All right, clipping that for later.
Gosh
Yeah.
dang it!
The Chaos Gods would want your location, Bajirwin.
They can
want
have
you,
it. Those gods in Final Fantasy are kind of pretty. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. All right, Spud. What about you?
Okay. For me, I think it's also another difficult one because going off for what a soul said, I'm starting to see a lot more horror games revolving around like World War One, World War Two, etc. But I think one that I could kind of see is from a game, Frostpunk. That one's kind of a bit of a more city management game, but I can see
That sounds like a horror.
some kind of horror element behind it because it's like, I mean, an ice apocalypse, people are already down in the dumps, huddling around a giant furnace, trying to rebuild society. I can see like some kind of horror element embedded into it to try to kind of like split the people, put them against each other, or just something dark going on within the city. Something like that.
Okay.
So I thought it would be cool to have a PGA golf tour horror game because there are
Oh my
not,
God.
Oh my
there are not a
gosh.
lot of sports horror games besides like a few
Genius.
themed games. But I'm just talking about hallucinations while golfing, having
That is so
fog
good.
around you while golfing. And through all like 8 or so courses, imagine just being chased by something. You just have to make sure you get your ball to the end in order to open up the next area. I think it'd be pretty cool. And depending on how well you do, of course, multiple endings. And you have different clubs that you can use. And also, this would be taking place over like an abandoned golf course. We
Classic.
got a letter to come and try and challenge it. But then you realize, wait a second, no one's here. And then the gate locks behind you. And then you just have like a certain amount of time in order to actually reach the end.
Dude, that is so good.
There's a
Thank
good
you,
name
thank
for
you.
that. Golf Story 2, Ghosts of the Green.
Oh
It's
no.
awesome.
Oh boy.
They need to candy wait. All right. I'm done. Next.
Oh, this one is simple. Untitled Goose Game. Okay.
As a horror game, all right,
Following
Cook.
me? Yeah, you're
Yep,
following
we're
me,
following
right?
you.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Untitled Goose Game, silly game, but now make that spoopy, okay? So, like, sometimes people have claustrophobia, right? What if you have to follow the goose like, actually, like, the camera, like, goes into, like, the tiny spaces that he must crawl through to do his little shenanigans, you know? But then there's, like, other creatures that exist, and it's like, bah! Jump scare! In this tiny claustrophobic tunnel or something. And then there's like, oh, you come across like rotten things. So like a little bit of like body horror and kind of gore. Ooh. Stuff like that. Just playing on the different phobias as you progress as a goose across town and cause chaos and steal more bells.
That is beautiful.
Right? Okay, you follow me? It sounded good.
Where do I pre-order?
This- in the description box below, there'll be a link to the.
Awesome.
Just kidding. I wish, but yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a fun, spooky, spoopy, cute. Also, geese are scary. Gosh dang it, geese are scary on their own. So like, maybe even just use a real goose, not even animated. Just like record a goose and use that for the model the entire time. But everything else is still like cartoony, but the goose is real.
That is awesome.
And when you pre-order, it comes with a goose egg you must hatch.
Ooh.
And raise
Oh.
and raise to.
Wait, in
its
real
full
life or in the
potential.
game?
Both?
Say no more. I'm in.
Thank you.
You
Next.
eat the egg?
Oh, shoot. Different endings for different uses of the
Can you
egg?
eat the egg? Snuxo asked,
Depending
can you
which-
eat the egg?
This is an important question. Different endings for whatever you do with the egg, and also how you prepare the egg. Should you eat it?
That's
It's
true.
a horror game. It's gonna be all bad, scary endings. It's gonna be like you get like salmonella from the egg or something.
That's true, Noxe.
And then
Like, you have to really
die.
think about the shelf life on how long it was on GameStop shelves, so
See,
gotta be careful with that one.
we have the in real life consequences and then the game consequences if you ate the egg in the game.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. For me, any existing video game to horror game, what would it be? So there's a little story on how this creation came together. So the other week I was playing Smash Bros. Ultimate Squad Strike, random characters only, with my good friend Soul here, and Soul rolled into using Olimar, and I rolled into using Duck Hunt Dog. I proceeded to get my butt handed to me because all he would do is spam Pikmin at me the entire time. And it was
Pretty scary.
it was the most terrifying thing because I think that was each of us, that was our last livestock. So horrifying that experience.
Where was this? Do you remember the stage?
I don't remember. I just remember you chucking Pikmin at me left and right. I remember I remember begging you to stop, but you were like, no, and you just kept freaking spamming Pikmin at me, and I was like, Soul, you monster. I respect it because that's what I would do. No, I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
You think Young Link or Nessus worse? Try playing with Olimar against Olimar.
Yeah, I literally could not do anything. So I got that. We have that little side story going on, and then I also remember talking with JC about Last of Us 2, which is a great game, by the way. Come at us if you want. So I was like, okay, I'm going to combine both of these. So just picture in your mind. Pre-order bonus. Same day as Bajoran's game comes out. It's going to be a collaborative release.
Yes, it will be.
So just imagine you're going to be the start of this whole infected zombie apocalypse. You'll be using tiny little zombie Pikmin that are going to be thrown to overwhelm humanity. So just these little plant people, you just grab them, you just start chucking them at random bystanders on the street, and then you're just gonna start infecting everyone. You get a Pikmin, you get a Pikmin. You over there, just taking a nap on the bench, shove it right in their mouth. Why not? I just think I never played a Pikmin game, so I don't even know if this is normal or not. But I think throwing tiny Pikmin at humans and just watching them like devour humanity, I think it would just be a really fun time. And then of course we'll throw a filter in there, if you want to get rid of the gore, because we got to sell this on a Nintendo console.
Oh, you're right.
Got to get this on
Yeah, you're gonna be
Nintendo Switch
sued.
3. Shoot, you're right. I never thought about that. I didn't think about it getting that far. Oh, we'll worry about it later. Hey, pal will, right?
Oh boy.
Anyways,
Our legal team, not us. Ha 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 ha.
my hope is that Bajerwin's game about the goose overshadows this game, so not many people talk about this, and this becomes like a hidden underground game that grows over
Yeah.
time. So Nintendo will sue us maybe like 20 years down the line.
Exactly.
That's kind of my hope. Anyways, thank you guys for joining. That concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join the Video Game Book Club Discord and play and discuss video games alongside us and the community, the link will be in the description box below. And to all of you who celebrate it, we hope you have a fun Halloween. Stay safe out there. Be sure to eat lots of candy. Try not to get any cavities. And yeah, we will catch you in the next episode of Video Game Book Club. All right, that's it from us. Say goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Happy holidays.